A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men. I hate. Not accurate. No, it's not even close to accurate. It's a horrible movie. I hate it. And I don't even like the movie from its own terms, to be quite honest, because of Demi Moore's character. This is not a slight on Demi Moore. It's a slight on Aaron Sorkin, who wrote the movie or wrote the play or whatever. But it's a slight on Aaron Sorkin. Demi Moore's character is just horrible in that movie because she is so is like covering her ass the whole way. She has no real she has no real beliefs. She's just always covering her ass, and she's contrarian. Because the way that I know that, by the way, is there's two big scenes that make that clear, right? So when Demi Moore's character again completely screwed up the examination of their witnesses, right? Because you might have wanted to find out that they never actually heard the order. That might be a clue that we want to know about. So after Demi Moore completely screwed that up, and the defense's case has gone completely to shit, and their only other witness has now committed suicide, Cappy over here, Tom Cruise's character, is feeling understandably despondent. He's like, I have no witnesses left to call. I have nowhere left to go. I'm totally hosed. And Demi Moore's character, again, this is a slight on Aaron Sorkin for writing it this way, has Demi Moore's character just take him apart, put him against the rails. Like, you put Jessup on that stand, you get it. And Tom Cruise gives what is completely the correct answer, although he's giving it drunkenly and angrily and rudely, but it's the correct answer. So, but he's saying, I can't do that. I can't call Jessup on the stand and ask him about it because I don't have any evidence that would form a basis for the question, which incidentally is also true in civil law and is true in non-military law. I couldn't do it in non-military law either, right? I can't make an accusation against somebody with no basis, right? I can't just be like, maybe the butler did it with nothing, right? I can certainly allude to other particulars, but I can't just throw a particular person under the bus in a non-military case either, right? I have to have some reasonable basis to ask the question, and I have nothing, and Tom Cruise has nothing. So Tom Cruise can't ask that question in a non-military court, and he can't ask it in a military court, and if he asks it in a military court, it comes with additional penalties. Because he can be court-martialed because superior officer and all the rest of it, right? So Tom Cruise gives a perfectly cogent, albeit drunk, angry, and somewhat berating, but he gives the correct answer of, I can't do that. And Demi Moore's character is just flogging him and be like, you're such a bad lawyer. You have no balls. Where'd you leave your balls? You leave them in your wife's purse. Blah 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 blah. And so Tom Cruise like, okay, fine, I'll call Jessup to the stand. And the very next day, because this is all happening the next day, Jessup is being called to the stand, and just before he comes to the stand, Tom Cruise and Demi Moore meet in like an adjacent room or something. And Demi Moore says, how are you feeling, Cappy? And he says, I think Jessup's going to have a rough time. And then she completely backtracks. It's like, well, if you can't get him, don't push it. I'm special counsel, and I have to let you know that if you push it, you could get into a lot of legal trouble. It's like, oh, you're a two-faced bitch, aren't you? Oh, you want it both ways. You want to be able to completely berate Cappy because he doesn't have balls, and the very next day, when he finally succumbs to you and does what you say, now you want to back off and be like, oh, you better make sure that you don't cross the line, or you could get into a lot of trouble. So I fucking hate her character, and it's not incidentally the first time in the movie that happened. It's just the most obvious time in the movie it happened. So Aaron Sorkin wrote this really weak, unprincipled, pansy character that Demi Moore played. She's so two-faced and so, oh my God. Aaron Sorkin can eat me. Although I thought he wrote The West Wing very well, so I'm not negative against Aaron Sorkin in general, but that character, man, Lord, why did you have to write such an unpleasant character? What was the goal of that character? Other than be contrarian and stuff. Like, I think you should go down there I think you should go in. Better not ask him tough questions, though. I might get in trouble. Joseph says, Demi, not the least bit self-aware. Remember, Commander, get yourself a cup of coffee. No thanks, I'm fine, sir. Please step out of the room so we can talk about you behind your back. Yeah, she's completely self-unaware. She's completely unable to read innuendo. And she covers her six more than any fighter ever has. You better call him to the stand. You get him on this. You get him on the stand, and you get it from him. Oh, I get it from him. I get it from him. What a great idea! You know, after I go and call him to the stand and accuse him of doing this code red with no evidence, guess what happens next? Wrong answer. You know, your clients are convicted, and meanwhile, for you, it's a court martial. That's right. After accusing a senior officer with absolutely no evidence, you know. Well, I could do something so galactically stupid as calling him to the stand and accusing him. Demi Moore's like, you're such a coward, blah, blah, blah. Next day, oh, you better be sure. You better be sure because you can't get it. Don't push it, Kathy. Horrible character. Horrible character. Stephanie says that was amazing. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Hate that movie so much. I hate that character so much. She's just the worst woman ever. That's also too, I think it's an insult to women. I think it's a badly written female character in particular. Because it has this very uncomfortable vibe of the continuous nag, right? It has this, especially for a woman who is in the military and is an officer and apparently been there for some time, who apparently would know some discipline and stuff like that. It's like she has this thing of that she never knows what she wants. And as a woman, as soon as she gets what she wants, she doesn't want it anymore. She's this very mercurial, now mercurial's the wrong word. She's very, you can never make her happy. You know, you can never make her happy. Whatever decision you make, it's the wrong one. And I told you so, right? It's this position of I told you so, I told you so. So no matter what you do, it's like, I told you so. I told you should have called him. I told you shouldn't have called him. It's like, you know, someone who gets exactly what they want and then doesn't want it anymore. She's undefined. She's two-faced. She's a bit of a hag who she cannot be pleased. And she's a complete annoying character, too. She's so annoying, too. She's like a Karen or something. Aaron Sorkin wrote a Karen. It's really bad. Joseph says you could do movie reviews. Maybe I should, man. 12 Angry... Yeah. Yeah, that movie sucks.